Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Angela again from MedFit Medical Weight Loss here in Denver, Colorado. We are literally less than a week away from Halloween. Can't believe it. It has finally come. The holiday season is officially in store, and hopefully you guys are following me every Tuesday so that you can stay out of trouble, because this is where it's at. This is where it begins. So a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video on your sugar addiction. It was entitled "Sugar is Like Your Ex." So in case you haven't viewed it yet, I suggest you watch it. This is going to be the second part of that series. So I'm here to protect you on how to really, what I call, hockey check all of those candy, chocolate, food temptations that are literally just like everywhere, especially this week. I know that I have personally not bought candy for our house just yet. I'm saving it for the weekend so that we are clear of any type of just again temptations. So okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Angela, again, owner of MedFit Medical Weight Loss. We've been in business for about 4 years now, and we're really excited. We really want to make sure that we're helping you, because we want to help you get the facts straight. I know there's a lot of different information out there. You have no idea what's right, what's wrong for your diet and your health. And as a board certified physician in both internal medicine and obesity medicine, that's where I'm going to help you take that extra layer, that science, that advanced knowledge, to make sure that you're getting the correct information. Now, in the video that I had over the last couple weeks, I talked about the science of your sugar addiction. So let me tell you again, sugar is the new drug addiction. In fact, it is actually even worse than cocaine or heroin, because guess what? It's everywhere. It's in your grocery store, it's in your house, it's in your kid's classroom. In fact, we had a patient the other day who had attended a conference, and the speaker was asking questions, and for those who answered the question right, guess what reward he threw out into the audience? Candy. So it's everywhere. You can't avoid it. And if you are someone who suffers from sugar addiction, I feel you. You can't get away from it. You can't even leave your house because it's everywhere. So, but I'm here to remind you that it's not necessarily you that is addicted, it's your body. And remember, sugar loves the reward pathway in your brain. And there's a very special brain hormone called dopamine that you are releasing that helps give you that high, that sugar energy high. And you feel really good after eating something with high sugar. And you get a low, and you need some more sugar, and you get another high, and then you just keep doing it, and bam, and all of a sudden you are finding out that you're actually requiring to eat more just to get that same sugar high. And again, that's where that sugar addiction comes in. And then just to give you some insight, for those of you who maybe have smoked in the past or currently smoking, or those of you who have family history of alcohol or drug abuse, believe it or not, this runs in families. And so even though you may not have a drug or alcohol problem, you have a higher risk for an addiction to sugar. In fact, they did a study a while back at Scripps Research Institute, and they took a group of mice, and they basically gave these mice different sugary foods, processed foods, and monitored them for a couple weeks. And then they tried to actually cut off these mice from these foods. In fact, these mice were actually, they were willing to go through these traps in order to get to that sugar reward. And just to let you know, it actually took the researchers 2 weeks to retrain the mice to go back to normal, so they weren't constantly trying to force themselves to get to that sugar reward. They did the same group of mice and tested them on cocaine and heroin. Guess how many days it took them to stop? 2. compared to 2 weeks. It only took them 2 days to get them away from the addiction of cocaine and heroin. So that's the ugly truth. So, all right, so here we go. So I'm ready to hack your brain. Listen up. I'm gonna give you a couple of tips. For those of you, it might seem obvious. For those of you, it might not be so obvious. So that's why I wanted to mention it. And then I'm gonna give you 3 very easy tips that you can do literally right now, literally starting right now, so that you can prepare for this week so that you don't get caught up in that sugar rush before Halloween. So, okay, so here are the first couple of obvious tips. If you are addicted to sugar or just feel like, gosh, I am craving sugar all the time, I don't get it. Number 1, go to your doctor. You need to get checked for diabetes. That's first and most important thing. I tell you, there are so many people who come to my office and they say, gosh, I feel like I have no willpower and I'm just a weak person, and every time, I come across sugar, I can't help myself. And I'll do a panel of blood tests and I was like, well, no wonder you're craving sugar. You actually have diabetes, and that's not good. So you really want to make sure that you're ruling out that. Even for those of you who have just pre-diabetes or what they call borderline, you don't want that message from your doctor. That means the damage is already done. So, I know that some people take it lightly. Well, I don't have diabetes, I just have a higher risk for it. No, actually the damage is starting and you actually need to act now and reverse it before further damage is occurring. So number 1, again, make sure you go to your doctor and get tested, okay? The second obvious tip is don't keep it in your house. I know that you have kids, you have a husband, they all want treats, especially this time of the year. But if you are going crazy, if you are like biting your nails, pulling your hair, if it really just, shouts out your name, you really need to just have a talk with your family and say, it's actually best if we just, kept it out of the house at least for a little while until, Halloween, then we give it away. So again, it's the smell, it's the sight. Just even the thought of it in your house is going to trigger that reward, that addictive pathway. So get it out of your house so that you just have an easier time to avoid it, okay? And then the third most obvious tip, which again may not be so obvious, this is something that I actually work one-on-one heavily with my patients. It is know your triggers. So for those of you, that might actually be obvious. You know that boredom gets you all the time. 3 o'clock sometimes also is a trigger. Nighttime, being at home by yourself. All of these are triggers, and if you know your triggers, I would actually have you write it down so that you can literally smell it a mile away. And then once you know your triggers, then you can start to create strategies to really bypass that and figure out an alternative non-food routine that you can do to bypass it. So, all right, so those are the 3 obvious tips that you can do to really kind of figure out where your sugar addiction is coming from and what to do. So, all right, so the next 3 tips, and again, these are my secret hack tricks. These are the tricks to your treats, okay? This is literally something that you can start again today. Number 1, start a probiotic. So for those of you who don't know what a probiotic is, what it is it helps balance the bacteria in your gut system. You actually have a group of good bacteria and you have a group of bad bacteria, and they live simultaneously in your gut system. But what happens is that if it gets out of balance from being stressed out, this time of year, everybody's starting to get the sniffles, we got the stomach flu, we got viruses. If you're not sleeping right, if you don't eat right, if you don't exercise, there's an imbalance. And guess what happens? Your body craves sugar if that gut system is out of balance. So the best way to do it is to get a probiotic. So now you can go to the grocery store, you can get a generic probiotic. There are plenty over the counter. You can also go to my website to get a medical grade it's called Ultra Flora Balance, and you can go to angelat.metagenics.com. And you can order it online, you get it shipped, and it's a really good probiotic to, again, really balance that out. You will also find that your digestive system will be much improved. It also helps with your immune system. So it's called Ultra Flora Balance, and again, the website is angelat.metagenics.com. The second tip that you can do right now, especially for my women, my female patients out there, this tends to be worse when you are around that time of the month. If you're craving chocolate specifically, and I know some of you girls out there are already like, that's me, chocolate is calling my name. Guess what? It could be a sign of a magnesium deficiency. Guess what? Chocolate actually has a good amount of magnesium, and no wonder your body's craving it. But guess what? It's not craving the chocolate, it's craving the magnesium. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can get magnesium through whole foods, dark green leafy vegetables and lettuce. You can get it in supplement form. I recommend 300 milligrams per day. Again, easy, a pill form, you can get it, pop it in, especially around that time of the month, or if you can predict when you are craving chocolate, that's the time to do it. And the third, very easy, literally again, method to curb your sugar cravings is to add cinnamon. You're like, wow, that's simple, just a half a teaspoon 3 to 4 times a day. I add it to my tea. Some people drink coffee, if you're eating an oatmeal or certain fruits, you can add cinnamon. And guess what? Cinnamon is a natural blood sugar regulator. In fact, I make protein shakes and I'll add cinnamon for flavor. It is the perfect, easy, natural way to help control your sugar cravings. So, all right, so in summary, the 3 hacks, the 3 things that you can do absolutely right now is adding a probiotic, get your gut system in balance. Okay, number 2, add magnesium. Again, 300 milligrams per day. And then third, get some cinnamon. In fact, I had one of my patients who bought me a very special Vietnamese cinnamon from one of the specialty spice stores, and I still love it. I still have it in my spice rack. So, all right, so good luck. This is a really key week to make sure that you guys stay on track so that you don't get caught up in the Halloween sugar craze. Protect yourself, get out there, start doing some of the things that I encourage you to do to help fight those sugar cravings. Thanks for listening, and then I will see you again next week.